and welcome to Huey the Bear. Today, we look into a specific group of allied health professionals, psychologists. They are like doctors for mental health. Do note that there are different types of psychologists who specializes in different areas, though their skills and knowledge are transferable.
So the role of a clinical psychologist is to work with individuals with mental health conditions. Those conditions might be mild conditions, anxiety, low mood. It might be working with more complex conditions. And the role of the psychologist is to work with the individual to help them understand the psychological aspects of their condition and to help them develop some coping strategies to manage mental health more effectively. Personal satisfaction that I get out of working in my role, and I really feel as though that I get the opportunity to help people. I see people improving, getting better as time goes on, and in particular in my role, often the good outcome is when people find their way back to work and find their way back to some routine in life.
It's just a wonderful experience to be on the journey with the client, and if there is a development and a discovery for them on a personal level, you're just happy to be there to witness it with them.
Hi, I'm Vanessa from NUH. Follow me to learn about my day in the life of a child psychologist. So as a child psychologist at NUH, I see a range of patients. So they may range from 8 to 18 years old with mental health conditions. Some of them may present with anxiety, depression, personality disorders, and trauma. Some of my patients have difficulty accepting their chronic illnesses, and so they may grieve over the loss of their identity or freedom. And some of them may also experience mental health stress brought about by their chronic illnesses. The younger patients under 8 years old are seen by our play therapists or our team at the Child Developmental Unit. My clinic takes place either in the morning or afternoon. Besides outpatient consultations, I see patients in the ward, run group therapies, and do administrative work when needed. So generally for initial assessments, I'll have an in-depth interview with the child to understand the difficulties that they're experiencing, their strengths, their interests, and also how they perceive their family and their social interactions are like. Depending on how old they are, I'll also speak to the parents to understand their developmental history. I also conduct psychometric assessments to assess for IQ, learning disorders, or neurodevelopmental disorders. I generally use an eclectic approach to therapy, which means I draw on to various theoretical orientations and techniques to suit the needs of the patient. One of the therapies I use is schema therapy, which aims to address the unmet needs of the patient and help them develop healthier alternatives to their deep-seated patterns of behavior. I often ask my patients to focus on the here and now emotions, as this will help them process and learn how to cope with those feelings. Sometimes that may involve exploring their feelings with me in the current moment. And at times, if the feelings are too strong, we engage in a grounding exercise where I'll ask them to look at 5 things they can see, 4 things they can touch, and it just goes down with the other 5 senses. So after I finished the sessions with the patients, I will take some time to document any changes in conceptualization, the progress made, and the work that we have done in the session. So generally for an inpatient session, we were just to understand their difficulties, just like an initial assessment, and if they are suitable and it's necessary, we'll see them as outpatient after they are discharged. I also visit the ward twice a week to work with a multidisciplinary team of pediatrician and other healthcare members to kind of understand the difficulties of the patients and triage them to see what kind of psychosocial services they're doing. So one of my colleagues actually shared this with me, and I really resonated with it a lot, is that an important trait of a psychologist is attunement, and attunement is the ability to be aware of and respond effectively to the needs of the patient.
That's all for today. Do hit the subscribe button and like the video so that we can produce more videos on topics relating to disabilities.